Hello and welcome to the Dobbs Take YouTube channel with the second tutorial for Hitfilm Express. Today we will be doing, by your request, the lightsaber effect from the popular film Star Wars. Yeah, let's just jump right in. When you are filming your footage, you need to make sure that A, you're holding some sort of stick that's about the size of your lightsaber. I'm holding a wiffle ball bat. And 2, that you have tracking markers on your lightsaber. Like here, I have this red tape up here and this red tape up here. They need to be on the hilt and the tip. Okay? Now, in Hitfilm Express, I have already set up my footage. I've imported it. I've made it into a composite shot. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 points. New layer point, new layer point. I'm going to rename the first point. I'll name it hilt. And I'll rename it tip. Okay? Now, I want you to create a new plane. I want you to name it blade. And make sure that it's black. And set it to the blending mode additive, or just add. Now what you're going to do is we're going to forget about that for a while, and you're going to, in the drop-down menu, create a new track. Use this tracking and zoom in with your mouse pad, or trackpad, or whatever it's called, and position it so that the little thing that you're actually tracking, the red box, is really, really small over your red thing. And if you were smart like me, you would not wear the same color shirt as your tracking markers. But no matter what, all you have to do is just make the searching box, the green box, way big. Like way, way bigger than you think you have to. And then you just keep your eye on it, but push track forward. If it gets off, like mine just did, rewind a little and find the point when it got off and just auto-correct it yourself. Autocorrect is usually really annoying on your phones, but here it's not really any different. One more thing, when you're tracking, you want to make sure that you're tracking the leading edge when you're doing it manually, because when you make the lightsaber itself, Hitfilm assumes that it's the leading edge to make the cool little fans when it swings. Now, I filmed this with like my laptop's camera, and it doesn't have the best camera. The motion blur's really, really bad for it, but oh well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, once you're all tracked up, I want you to go over here to step 2, apply to layer. Purpose transform, make sure that it's there. Layer, apply it to your hilt. And push apply. Now, if you go back over to the viewer, make sure you go back to the viewer, and you go to your hilt, you will see that it is parented to your little tracker, which is pretty cool. So, now you just do the same thing, but for the tip. Track it again, and then do the same points. Do the same, and then parent your point to the tracker. Keep in mind that the tip will be a much harder track than the point, because it just moves around a lot more. And when you are done tracking, purpose apply, layer, tip, and hit apply. And then your tip should be parented to your tip. Okay, now for the fun part, making the lightsaber blade. Go to the effects panel and search light sword 2-point auto layer only. No, you want under generate, you want the free version, the light sword 2-point auto layer only. Add it to your blade effect. And in controls, hilt, parent the position to your hilt. There, it follows your hilt around. Pretty cool. I don't know what it did just there. But if it does something weird like that, hit a keyframe for position at the very end. And just put it back where it belongs, and then it should all be better. And in your tip, parent it to your tip. And if it does something like that, that's because the position is at 200 instead of 0, so just 0 it out, and it should be all good. And there. You have your basic lightsaber. Ooh, you did something like that again. You have your basic lightsaber. So now, how do you customize it? How do you make it thicker, thinner? Okay, basically, if you want to make it thicker or thinner, you just go into the hilt properties. You can adjust the thickness and adjust the thickness in the tip too, and you can make it as thick as you want. The extension is how long you want it to be. The core, now I would usually make this white. I think that just looks the best, but that's just me. Inner glow, okay, if you want the best look, here's a little secret. You set the alpha of the inner glow very low to like 30 or 40, and set the width to something like 20, or just something not very large. Then, in the outer glow, you bring the alpha, not the width, bring the alpha up to 100 and bring the width out to, say, 75 or so. Okay? And then if you want to change the color, I like mine to be a nice purpley, like Mace Windu. And, ooh, that came out pink. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on the color. But yeah, and then the path and the motion persistence is basically just how much of a fan it gets. So the higher you put that up, the more of like a fan when it swings. The persistence shift, I've never really messed around with that. It's like how delayed it is. But if you bring that up, you get more of a fan. And I really like the way the fan looks. The distortion is, if you want it to be like Kylo Ren's and be all like weird and crackly, or if you just want it to be perfectly smooth, whatever. I'm gonna bring this width down just a tad. And yeah, that's just your basic lightsaber. And then you export it. Name it whatever you want. Set it to, say, whatever thing you want. And push save and wait for it to start exporting. And yeah, right there is how you create a lightsaber in Hitfilm Express. If you don't forget to subscribe to the Dobbs Take, dobbstake@gmail.com, and just ask to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel too. That would be great. Also, give an email to dobbstake@gmail.com saying what you want next week's tutorial to be. Okay? Thanks for watching, and goodbye.